Hi, Alexander with Divine Reconnections here, doing my next video. And this video is all about how do you hold yourself accountable? What are the things that you can do to hold yourself accountable for the things that you want to accomplish? And I know, especially with Mercury Retrograde right now, everybody's exhausted and tired. It's a really intense time. Luckily, we're coming out of Mercury Retrograde, so by the 15th, we'll finally, hopefully, be out of it and things get back to normal. So it is a time of rest. It is a time of inner reflection and slowing down for sure. But how do we keep ourselves accountable in times like this? How do we keep ourselves accountable always, or especially during a Mercury Retrograde period? And honoring the cycles, right? Honoring what we can accomplish, celebrating the wins of what we accomplish, right? Focusing on the wins and not beating ourselves up. Oh, we didn't do anything. Oh, we're stuck, right? Getting ourselves out of that mode. And then how do we get in this? Okay, I accomplished some things today. What did I accomplish? And I'm so excited to accomplish these things, really focusing on that. And so here's some helpful tips that can help you stay accountable and helps me stay accountable. It helps me be able to also stay accountable in doing things and not getting in that rut of being tired and exhausted and not seeing things come in and not seeing the changes I want come in. And not recognizing, okay, what am I doing? What am I doing during the day to make sure that I want this change to come in? That's that accountability piece that comes into the world of change. And something I heard from Mandy McGowan, who's my mindset money coach, amazing money mindset coach for those that are stuck or have a scarcity with finances, which for me as a solopreneur, that does come in, right? That I do struggle with that as I'm growing this business. So please go see her if you can. She's a fabulous coach. But she really did say something to me yesterday that kind of stood out was, this place of manifestation that I'm in, that I'm so strong in and I sit in, and this place of subconscious affirmations and gratitude and inner work that I do around the manifestation, around trying to really bring this space in for myself. There has to be a balance with the accountability piece. What am I doing with the flow? Being in the flow and doing the activities to help manifest that reality for me, wanting to manifest that change for me, where that change is. And that has to be a level of balance with giving and receiving and flowing. And so that's just kind of something that really stirred something in my brain of, what am I doing on a daily basis for myself? What am I doing? What is the inner work that I'm doing for myself to be able to sit in a place of manifestation and to be able to receive from a place of manifestation? And how do I hold myself accountable to make sure that every day I'm doing something? I'm doing some sort of inner work for myself. That way I keep up that momentum. I'm keeping up the flow of receiving in my life. And so here's some helpful tips that I'm doing for myself. And, I'm not always successful where I do it every day, but I celebrate the days that I do it. And it also helps me stay in that place. Celebrating the times that I do it helps me keep myself in that place of higher vibration. So that way I am doing and accomplishing, doing and manifesting, versus getting to a point where you get stuck and frustrated and then feeling like there's just only lack and scarcity, right? We all get to that point. We're human. It's how do we get out of that place? What are the things that we need to do in our daily life to get us out of that place? So that way we're in a place of high vibration again. And so in regards to accountability, the first thing I love to do is I use alarm bells. The first thing I like to do is kind of put alarm bells on my phone. I really live off of my alarm bells. I have alarm bells for drinking water, for example, to make sure I drink enough water during the day, because it's so easy for me to get so busy I forget to drink water. So I have alarm bells that I actually put for 1 o'clock, so that way I make sure I drink my 36 ounce by 1 o'clock, and then by 4 o'clock, and then by 6 o'clock. And that makes such a difference with making sure that I'm having that water intake. And I celebrate. Some days I don't get all 36 ounce waters. Some days I only get 2, and I celebrate the fact that I've had 2. And I tell myself, I'm really proud of me that I've had that water, that I drank that water. Celebrate those wins again. And so alarms are great to be able to put those little reminders for yourself. Hey, I need to do this. Hey, I need to record my videos. Setting that alarm that says, okay, time to record your videos, right? That really helps me stay accountable to getting that task complete and making sure I'm done with it. Another little technique that I like to do is to schedule calendar invites. I treat everything I have to accomplish like a calendar invite. And so I put that in my phone as a calendar invitation, as if I'm going to an appointment or I have a meeting or I have a client session. I put that on my phone so that way I can make sure that time is blocked for what I need to get done. That time is blocked, so nobody books that time, to make sure that is my dedicated time to get my activity done. So that's another way. I really love calendar invites. They really do help me stay accountable into completing things. The other thing I love to do is having like a daily task list. Sometimes too, I really need visual. I'm a very visual person, and I don't want to stare at my phone for everything, right? I put the really big rocks in my phone, like either through alarm bells or calendar invites, and all those little rocks I like to put into a very visual calendar. And so I have like my little daily planner, and in my daily planner you can see I've got my task lists. I have already accomplished my meditation for the day. I made sure I got my meditation done already. I checked that off this morning. I checked off my gratitude list because I did my gratitude list. I spoke out loud my affirmations. I did that. I celebrated the fact that I got that done. And it feels so good to get that done when I do, right? I'm not always great where I can get it done every day, because some days I'm tired. Some days my day is full and I don't get to it. But I don't bring myself down for the days that I don't get. I don't do those daily tasks that I want. I celebrate the times that I do, right? It's those times that I do. And the more I celebrate those times, the more those things become habits. And the more those things become habits, the more it's just automatically ingrained that this is just what you do. On this day, I just do this. For my morning meditations, that's the first thing I do when I wake up. I do two things. My cats wake me up at 6 o'clock in the morning because they want their food. So I get up. Whenever I get up, the first thing I do, go feed my fur babies. And then I automatically make my coffee and go straight into my morning meditation. And I do that right away before anything else. I automatically do that. And that really helps me. That has helped me turn that into a habit. That's what I do in the mornings. So that's a little accountability tool that you can do, is kind of like choosing the days. Okay, these days I'm going to do this. These days I'm going to do this. And then putting it into some sort of visual where you mark it off, right? The act of check marking something off really does help to start training your brain and rewiring your brain that this isn't a consistent behavior by constantly doing it. Another coach that I've been seeing, who's a mindset coach, and she's all about shattering the ceiling, right? Shattering that ceiling that we kind of get to and can't get past. And she's a fabulous coach. Deb Starkey has been also helping me get unstuck in some of the places in my life that I've only myself have gotten stuck. And she gave me a great tip on, putting everything in an Excel spreadsheet for those that are analytical and really need structure. Putting something like in a spreadsheet, listing all of your big rocks, listing the days you do those big rocks, and then actually print that out and then folding it on each of the days, so that way it sits like in your planner, which you're carrying around, and you're marking those big rocks as you're completing them and making sure that, yes, I've done those things. I've done my social media. I've walked the dog. I've taken a walk today for 30 minutes. I exercised today. I did my gratitude list today, right? Some people need the act of being able to mark something off completely, scratch it off, saying I've completed it. And it is really a helpful tool, because the more you can incorporate those type of activities, the more, again, these things become habits, and the more they become habits, the easier it's going to be automatically graved into your subconscious. This is what I do on Mondays. I can only schedule so many of these things because these are all the big rocks I have to do on my day. And so I have these times available for other things that I need to do, right? Even like social time, schedule it. Put it on if it's a big rock for you, put that as a big rock, because it's important. It's determining what are your big rocks, what are your small rocks, and being able to balance those so you don't burn yourself out, you don't exhaust yourself out, right? And by holding yourself accountable to complete these things, momentum starts to happen, change starts to happen, manifestation starts to happen. All of these things start to happen if we can hold ourselves accountable in some capacity, because again, it's that balance of manifestation and flow and wanting to be in that, and what are the things that we do to really bubble that energy to bring in those things that we want, and what are the things that we do for ourselves, the inner work, the activities that allow for us to be in this place and allow for us to receive. So again, that balance. Another technique you can do as well is sticky notes. One thing I love is sticky notes, and I have my little heart sticky note, and I love to put these around the house, especially with my big rocks. Like if I know I have a big rocks, like my big rock today was doing my videos, and I had this on my fridge, I had this on my door. As I get older, you know, and hormones, as women understand, brain fog can exist, and so the sticky notes help me be able to remind myself, hey, this is a big rock I have to make sure I get done today. And so I like to have sticky notes around my house. I love to have sticky notes of like gratitude. I literally in my bathroom, it says, I'm loving being slim and thin. I'm loving being the 160s because that's what I'm trying to get to in my health, is drop some weight. And so I love to have even those gratitude lists, those gratitude affirmations and affirmations on my bathroom and on my fridge, and I have it in my office. I like to have fun with them and get fun little stickers or sticky notes and put them around the house. And my partner has fully accepted the fact that I have sticky notes all over the house, but it helps him also stay accountable. It also helps him think, because he's an engineer, so he's always thinking, but it also helps him think about what is the inner stuff that I have to do for myself, and helps him slow down and connect as well. Sticky notes are fabulous for reminders and gratitude and affirmations. Hopefully these little techniques really help you kind of stir something in your head about, how do I hold myself accountable? What are some techniques and tips I can hold myself accountable for your inner work, right? Because our self-care is probably the last thing that we always are dedicated to. It's the last thing on our plate. It's the last thing we connect to. But without that self-care, without dedicating time to that self, and like achieving those big wins, right? Those big wins or those big rocks that really help our self-care stay strong and help our mental health stay strong. Without those things, we can lead to burnout. We can lead to being stuck. We can lead to depression. We can lead to just, feeling that there's lack or scarcity in our life. So we want to always remember that our self-care and our big rocks that we want to achieve in our life are really big, are really important things. And so how can we hold ourselves accountable so that way we get those two things done on a daily basis for ourselves? So that way we feel like every day we have positive momentum, positive high vibrations going on. And then when we fall and we do get a little burnout or we get stressed out, how do we get out of that place and move back into our momentum of accountability, our momentum of activity and receiving and flow? And so, those little techniques will help you kind of stay there and get there and stay there for yourself. So hopefully this video has helped you. Leave your feedback, leave your comments. I would love to hear, I would love to hear if anybody has some cool new tips that they're doing, because I would love to incorporate some new things in my life. So definitely if you leave some feedback, I'd love to hear what everybody's doing. Can't wait to hear and talk to you soon. Thanks.